Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk to you about some mistakes that I made when I was trying to lose weight. And I specifically chose this time of year to talk about it because we're nearing the end of the year, which is often the time where we eat a lot of stuff we wouldn't usually eat. And I think that now is pretty much a triggering time for people who are very conscious about their weight, whether they're trying to lose weight or they've already lost weight and they're trying to maintain it. So yeah, let's just get into it. Those of you who have been watching my channel know that I have struggled with depression for quite a while. And one of the side effects, I suppose, of that is overeating and gaining a lot of weight. So I've always had trouble with that, particularly being an emotional eater, and that was really why I gained a lot of weight to begin with. I think probably between the years of, say, 2016 to 2020 is when I gained the most weight, and that was also the time where my mental health was really quite in a decline. So it makes sense that those two match up. But yes, I was at my heaviest weight in my entire life during that point, and I really didn't think that I would be able to lose weight at all. And I just didn't even attempt because I just assumed that I wouldn't be able to do it, because in my mind the only way to lose weight is to stop eating, and I wasn't willing to do that. So for me there was no way out. I just sort of accepted that I was just going to be this large forever. And then lockdown happened. And most people gained weight during lockdown. That was the time where I lost all the weight, and I really mean all the weight. And because we were in lockdown, nobody had seen me for that entire time. And when we came out of lockdown and slowly started to socialize, people were in complete shock because it was such a big transformation for me, like before lockdown and after lockdown. I just looked so totally different. Everybody kept asking me, oh, what is your secret? How did you lose all the weight? And what happened? Or some people were like, oh, are you ill? Is that why you lost all the weight? But in reality, it was me kind of experimenting, trying to better my health, trying to lose weight for that reason, to better my health, but really doing it in the completely wrong way. And that's what I want to share with you today, because I feel like a lot of us go down this route, especially during this time where we're starting, it's summer here in New Zealand. This is the time where people, the average person starts to, go outside more, socialize more. It's party season, so all the fancy outfits come out, and it's at this time that we become all the more conscious of our appearance. And it's at this time where people usually start making New Year's resolutions or setting goals for next year and being like, yeah, I'm going to lose this much weight, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to eat healthier, and I'm going to do all these things, and I'm magically going to get better and look fantastic. These are the kind of thoughts that are going through our head during this time of year, and that was certainly the case for me. And I would say that everything that I did from the point I decided that I wanted to try losing weight was actually not ideal. So I'm hoping that by sharing this with you, it might be of some benefit. Now, I don't really want to tell you every single thing, because I don't want you to think that I'm giving you some sort of diet plan that you need to follow. I am not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor. I don't know anything about weight loss programs and all this other stuff. And when I started losing weight, I didn't have any of that knowledge. Now I have a lot more knowledge about nutrition and health and things like that. But when I decided to lose weight in 2020, I didn't have any of that knowledge. And the thing that really drove me to lose weight was really to better my health, because at that time my father was ill. He was diagnosed with cancer, and that really triggered me that made me realize the importance of one's health. And I said to myself, no, I need to do this. I need to make sure that I am healthy, because it doesn't matter what I look like. I could look great, but if I'm unhealthy on the inside, there's no point. And I knew that I wasn't healthy at that point, because I was dealing with so many problems, and I could barely move. Like, I was really sluggish. I had terrible back pain all the time. I just felt sluggish and heavy, and I just felt like I wasn't capable of doing anything anymore, which really sucked, because as a teenager I moved and I did things. But now, at that point where I started losing weight, which is only 3 years ago, I was already 30. So I was already in my 30s. So I just felt like, yeah, it's too late now. Whatever I try, I'm probably not going to lose the weight. And that's fine. But I just need to make sure that I'm in the best of health. That was my mindset. Or at least that's what I was aiming for. And then I went about it the complete wrong way. The first thing that I did is I basically cut my calories in half. Now, I've done calorie tracking for, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 different times when I tried to lose weight. And I used an app to literally track every single thing that I ate each day. And I know a lot of people do this and it works for them. I would never recommend this to anyone, because I feel like for the average person, this puts you in the complete wrong mindset. When you become so hyper aware of every single thing that you are putting in your body, and if you go slightly over your calorie limit for the day, you start beating yourself up, you start losing motivation, and you start thinking, okay, I'm not going to be able to do this, so what's the point in even trying anymore? And the limit that you set yourself most likely is probably not enough food anyway. And that is certainly the mistake that I made. My calorie limit was the minimum calorie limit that a person needs. 1,200 calories is not enough food. And I'm telling you this from personal experience. I'm not a big person, okay? I'm talking about height-wise. I'm a small human being. And even for someone like me, 1,200 calories is not enough food. And I ate 1,200 calories for probably 6 to 8 months. And during that time, my body weight dropped like crazy because I was barely eating, right? And yes, it is true that you do need to be in a calorie deficit in order to burn fat and to drop weight. But for it to be sustainable, it can't be that big a calorie difference. Now, you must remember that when I was overweight, I was eating probably 2,500 calories and above. And of those 2,500 calories, most of it was probably junk. And to go from 2,500 calories to 1,200 calories, that is a really big jump. And in my mind, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, so I'm going to have a calorie deficit now, so then I'm going to lose weight. In theory, that sounds great. But you have to think about the effect that this is having on your body. You're putting your body into a state of famine because you've dropped so much calories. And it's not like a 1 or 2 day thing. If you do this consistently for 6 months, which is what I did, yes, absolutely you will drop weight. But it won't be just fat that you're losing. It will also be muscle. And that was the most difficult thing for me, because everybody was praising me, being like, oh, you look so great now, you've lost so much weight, you look fantastic. I was so weak because I didn't just lose fat when I lost the 14 or 15 kilos that I lost a lot of muscle. And me training at the gym, I had literally just started my fitness journey in 2019, so slightly before the weight loss happened. I couldn't lift, I couldn't go as hard as I used to because I literally did not have the capacity anymore. Like, I felt weak. So it was so confusing because on the one hand, it's like, oh, you look so great. But on the other hand, it's like, I can't even lift this anymore because I'm like literally so weak. And I didn't want that. I didn't feel happy about that. I didn't feel great being thinner and better looking. That just didn't work for me anymore. And so I went back and I started to gain a bit more because I started to feel like I needed that in order for me to be able to perform the way I wanted my body to perform. And again, I think that when we are going through, this health journey or weight loss journey or whatever you want to call it, I think the focus shouldn't be on cutting so drastically because, first of all, it is not sustainable. There's no way that you can live on 1200 calories of food for the rest of your life. Not possible. And I don't think anybody should be doing that, because if you're only having 1200 calories per day, you have to be very, very, very careful about what you're actually eating in order to maintain a certain level of nutrition. And comes to the second point that I want to make. When I was eating the 1200 calories per day for 6 months, I wasn't eating everything that was good for me. So there would be days where I was just like, okay, I just need to make sure that I only eat 1200 calories. So if I have ice cream for lunch, that's fine because I'm still going to be within my 1200 calorie limit. That was my thinking. Totally wrong thinking to have, because nutrition matters so much, especially when you put your body into a state of famine because you're eating so little. If all you're getting is sugar and carbs, you're not really helping yourself here. Like, your body's literally thinking, oh my God, there's no food around here. Like, I'm starving. We need to, try and use whatever we can and store whatever we can, It's not helping you in the long run. And you're not going to get enough to actually nourish your body. And also, it's going to start affecting your gut health. We need to eat an array of fruit and vegetable. We need protein, fat, and carbs. We need all of this for our body to be healthy. It is very hard to do this if you've restricted yourself to 1200 calories per day. So the biggest mistake being cutting to such a low amount for such a long time. And the second one being thinking that all calories are equal. And they are absolutely not. When it comes to nutrition, you can have 100 calories of fries or 100 calories of vegetables. Those two are not the same to your body, so you have to be very careful about what you're choosing. And I think that brings me to my third point about sustainability. The changes that you are making in your life in order to better your health, I think it's best to do it at a slow rate. So not rush and do big cuts, not try and get results quickly, because that is simply not sustainable. The biggest mistake we all make, and I obviously have made this mistake, is that we want to lose weight quickly. We don't care how we do it. We just want to lose all the weight and we just want to look good. And so we cut the calories, we do whatever we need to do. We fast, we exercise until we feel like we're dying because we're so desperate to lose the weight so quickly. You can't do that for the rest of your life. Yeah, that's great if in 6 months from now you look amazing. But what happens after that 6 months? You got to think long term. And I didn't have that long term vision either. I was just like, okay, I just need to do this. I need to get this done. I need to drop the weight. I need to get into the green zone. I need to be healthy. Healthy is the green zone. I just need to be there because I know right now I'm in the red zone and that's no good. I was so just determined and focused to get into the green zone that I didn't think about how I was going to maintain that, or whether that was the way that I'm going about this is actually good for my body. Didn't think about any of that. Just went in all guns blazing. So that's definitely something that I'm changing now. And it's been 3 years since I lost all the weight. And I'm at this point now where I'm building more muscle in my body so that I can actually feel stronger. I can feel more capable. And that has been quite the journey because I've always struggled with upper body strength, which I think many women do because generally we're not built to have upper body strength. But I was so focused that from the beginning of 2023, I told myself this is going to be my goal. I'm gonna work on my upper body. I'm gonna be able to do those push-ups. I'm gonna be great at this. And then if you guys have watched my video, you know that I broke my collarbone in March. So in March of this year, that like my plans went out the door. I was just like, okay, broken collarbone, cannot move my arm, probably not gonna meet the goal of having like, you know, major upper body. But I think I got there in the end. At the time that I'm filming this, it's the end of November, and I've healed really well, alhamdulillah. And I've managed to get back to the point that I was at the beginning of the year with my upper body strength, which I am so grateful for, like, alhamdulillah, because I really thought that it would take much longer for me to get back there. But the best thing is the way that I feel. The fact that I feel good is now my driving force, as opposed to the way that I look. Like before, when I was so desperate to lose the weight, I was obsessed. All I cared about is my measurements, and if it was not going down, that means I was not doing the right thing. That I just needed to be small. That's all I cared about, being as small as possible and looking as good as possible. I told myself, yeah, I'm doing this for my health, but let's be real, like, you know, somebody who's like, you know, looking like they're starving, how is that healthy? I just kept saying to myself, this is the only way that I can do this. I just need to cut. I just need to be super strict with myself. That's the only way. That was what I thought. That was false. That is not the only way. Now that I have more knowledge and more understanding of my own body and how my body works and how I would like it to perform, I'm definitely in a better space mentally and physically, and that's definitely been helping me going forward, because I'm not fixated on the numbers anymore. I'm not fixated on how, you know, big my hips are or how big my arms are or how little they are. That information is not of value anymore. The information that is of value is how my body is performing, whether I am feeling well or not. Am I getting puffed just like trying to go up the stairs at work? Or am I feeling like fit and energetic? And do I feel capable? If I decided that tomorrow a bunch of us were going to go and play a football match, like, do I think that I could do that? If I decided that tomorrow, spur of the moment, I was going to do like a 3-hour hike, do I think I'll be able to do that? These are the kind of things that are important to me now, because I'm getting healthy in order to live life, in order to live a good life, not so that I can look good for everybody else. That is a huge mindset shift, and that has been of the greatest benefit to me, because when you change your mindset, when you understand what is important, it is easier for you to make those small changes in life, because you realize that I'm not doing this for the way that I look. I'm doing this for the way that I feel. I'm doing this for longevity, and that matters so much more. And that means that I'm keeping the future in mind, because I want to be able to maintain this over a long period of time, however long my life is going to be. And if we don't think about that, if we're just here for the quick results because we just need to cut and look great, then we're really not doing anything good for our mind or our body. And when it comes to the weight loss game, it is 100% a mental game first, before it is a physical game. You know, we all think, okay, we just need to exercise so hard and we just need to eat healthy and then everything will be fine. But in reality, it all begins here. Whatever your mindset is, that will be the result. If you have a poor mindset, your results will be poor as well. So I hope this video has been helpful for you so that you don't make the same mistakes that I made. And even though I did lose the weight, like I said to you, it actually wasn't in benefit to me overall, because I lost so much muscle mass at the same time. And the thing, especially for women, we need to maintain our muscle mass in order to be healthy, especially in our old age. And as I've been training over the years, I've really understood the value of exercise, not for weight loss, but rather for maintaining my body and being able to move and be fit. And like you see everybody saying these days, I'm training for my old lady body. That is literally what I'm doing now. I'm training for my old lady body because I absolutely want to be able to be fit and able, when I'm in my late 60s, 70s, 80s, inshallah, however old I end up being. I want to be able to still move, to still be active, to still be able to do things. And that is the intention that I'm doing everything with now. So it's not about measurements anymore. It's not about weight loss anymore. It's all about being healthy. So I hope that this has been of benefit for you, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye for now.